Everyone, it's Alex back here with the brand new weather forecast. I am completely shocked about. I didn't even think we're gonna get to 1,000 into early June. We have 1,500 subs already, and it's only gonna be growing. I'm really just shocked. 5.5 million on our latest short. Are you actually kidding me? I mean, just this is crazy. I really wasn't expecting this, I am just in disbelief right now. And the fact that we're going to be monetizing out of these videos soon, dude, I am shocked. None any other words than just absolute shocked. I mean, from this short alone, we might make even $100, $200. I mean, this is just fantastic. You guys, I'm really thankful for this opportunity that you guys got me to 5.5 million views. Just one short. I mean, this is crazy. This really is crazy. My subs just doubled. I mean, man, I'm so grateful. But anyways, this video, we are going to be talking about the weather pattern because it's going to get a whole lot more snowier. And I'm not just talking about snowier, I'm talking more violent, more potency to these fronts. Something I've been noticing in November is that whenever these cold fronts come through, they are much more impressive than what models think. Now, what is a good example we can go back to? So, I think it was the first week of November. Massive squall line with incredibly powerful CGs slammed the Virginia coast into Virginia, Delaware, and southern New Jersey. Unfortunately, it did cut out here, which kind of sucks. Then, we had another event, which was 2 weeks ago. Northern New Jersey. Powerful thunderstorms again. So, what does this tell me? Okay, we may not have gotten any thunderstorms from it yet. I do emphasize yet. Because there can be a late season surprise. And I do see that happening. So, what does this tell me? And also, another good example, 2 days ago. You had that shortwave coming through with rain. And it wasn't supposed to be that much snow. Guess what? Northern New Jersey got a crazy band of snow. It was red on reflectivity, but it was snowing like crazy. So, what does it, get me to tell? This atmosphere is incredibly favorable for any stronger storms at this point. It is so dynamically crazy that every storm that we got so far, it overperformed like crazy. So, what does this tell me going into winter? 1, this is not going to be like last year. I know last year we were stuck in a drought in fall. This is not going to be like last year. Why? Is because last year was more of a little bit, slightly of an El Nino with no southeastern ridge. That one little detail of the southeastern ridge just completely screwed our chances over. This year, I am predicting 3 to 4 feet of snow in my area. Huge uptick from last year. Last year, we might have only seen 6 to 8 inches. I'm expecting 3 to as much as 4 to 5 feet this year. It is going to be a snowy, but not only just snowy. We may have frigid Arctic blasts. And we're talking the type of cold we saw in 20 years. This may be a deep, deep thaw. It might be crazy. We might be talking about 0 degrees, maybe even the negative some days. It is gonna be very, very cold and snowy this year. And we are gonna take a look at what is gonna be happening over the short range. So, without further ado, let's go into the models. So, GFS. You're gonna be seeing a little bit of rain coming through tonight. Nothing crazy, but like I said, any storm at this point is incredibly dynamically favorable. Could we see a rumble of thunder or two? I cannot rule that out. Could be a rumble of thunder or two. We'll see about that. That exits out. Some colder air comes in for Sunday. Now, our next system is for next Tuesday into Wednesday. And we're going to have to see, because I'm going to take a look at the temperatures here for a minute. We were discussing about it earlier, how there may be a little bit of a warm sector behind this. I mean, ahead of this. So is it possible we could see some thunderstorms? So I would say Tuesday that it is going to be relatively mild. Depending on how much instability we get, there could be a little bit of a risk of stronger thunderstorms. We will keep that in our back of our head, because there is a bit of a system concerning with that. And also the temperature anomalies. See how there's a very warm push of air up the East Coast? That is actually a big key to watch out for. So I'd say Tuesday could be a bit iffy. In the morning, it could be sunny, maybe cloudy. I don't know. But I'm telling you, that afternoon or evening, might want to watch out for some stronger thunderstorms. We will see how that happens, but it's definitely possible. Colder air spills on the backside, obviously. Oh, look at this. Like, develops a little low over there near Maine. Dumps heavy snow. I'm not sure about that. Now we get into our violent potential storm. Now we get into this bowling ball trough. And I will show you what I mean that this storm could mean business. We are talking damaging winds. It's already a slight risk for damaging winds on the U.S. Hazards Outlook. Wind is going to be a huge issue. Now, I will mention severe weather is possible. Not likely, but there is a potential for severe weather. And I do see there could be a severe weather outbreak for the South. And depending how that goes, we're going to have to watch the East Coast very closely. I can't bet you right now that we're going to have some thunderstorms and severe weather. But you got to notice that there is a threat. And going back to our past analog years, remember 2021? Remember that powerful squall that tore through the region? It was showing up as rain early and then just turned into a powerful convective monster. Very thin, but very potent. Very potent. We produced several tornadoes on Long Island. I mean, the most impressive CGs I've seen in my career, probably. So November is not a stranger to thunderstorms. I will warn you that. So keep an eye out for the 28th into the 30th, because I think there's going to be a big system. We're talking big like February 16th. This could be something like that. We are going to have to watch this very closely. But getting into the 30th, into the 1st, you just see the big system developing. And ahead of it, you got warm, moist air. And just take a look at the temp anomalies. Look at this incredibly sharp, drastic cutoff between as much as 18 degrees above average all the way down into the 15 to 20 degrees below average. And what that white line is, that could be severe thunderstorms causing a lot of problems. And I am very worried for the south central U.S. because of this crazy clashing of air masses. And we are going to have to see how much shear gets inputted to this thing. How much cape, how much energy. We are going to have to see what the heck happens. Because this is a very concerning sign. Now, let us move it a little forward. Look at that big storm just brewing. Snow on the backside, severe weather on the front of it. Look at this. And just a really big system. And watch what happens right before that, right after that. Look how incredibly crazy this is. You're seeing snow all the way down to, let's say, central Arizona. That is wild. And this is going to be the system that I'm watching for the 2nd into the 5th. I think the timing shifted a little bit, but I think what's going to happen is that there's that initial push of air, but that's not going to arrive to the East Coast until that day. And then this right here, that potent cold front, I am watching that very closely because that could mean thunderstorms and severe weather all the way to the East Coast. And you're going to see what I mean. Look at all the snow breaking out across Nebraska, Colorado, and you got a low pressure forming. Watch what happens. You get a really, really just powerful low starting to develop, 988 over the Great Lakes. And watch this, all this. So it showed up a little stronger on the previous runs. So I gotta warn you that this system is legitimate and that we could be talking about a damaging wind threat for sure. Now, severe weather, I will have to question, will we see it? It's hard to tell right now, but just look at this system going into the 1st. This is what I'm talking about on the European. The fact that I'm even seeing this is spelling trouble. And just look at this giant monster. Just a full-fledged bombogenesis storm. This could be a bombogenesis storm in the central U.S. And that goes all the way into the Great Lakes. Guess what? You could have severe weather all the way up to New Jersey with the warm sector. So what I'm going to be watching over the next couple days is how this system is going to be evolving. There's been some crazy runs where I-95 gets a heavy snowstorm. I do not believe that. I absolutely do not believe that. But is it possible we could have snow on the backside? Entirely possible. And this storm is just such a monster. Look at the snow breaking out. And then look at the scope of this thing. You even snow to Texas, and then another major snowstorm, and then maybe even some crippling ice in the Northeast, and then a severe weather outbreak maybe. So, my God, we are going to be going into some very, very crazy times. Now, let's take a look at the temp anomaly. I'm going to show you the temperature anomaly as well on the European. Same idea. Look at this crazy contrast of air masses. And what that white means is extremely turbulent weather. Whether it's damaging winds, tornadoes, thunderstorms, anything. Along that white line is where you're going to have the most intense weather. And I have to repeat this several times. We have had already some very gusty winds across the tri-state area in November. And these cold fronts were not as strong as what this could be. If this comes into fruition, I'm telling you, if we get a 50 to 70 knot low-level jet roaring across the Northeast into the Mid-Atlantic, we are going to be contending with high wind warnings and extremely gusty winds, damaging winds for several hours. Like February 16th, this is a very concerning sign. Just look at that Arctic air just plunging south. This is as much as negative 30 to 40 degrees up there in the north. And then what you got on the front side, 20 to 30 degrees above average. This is crazy. Even if you look at the temperatures, this is going to be even crazier. Look at that very clear warm front and cold front slashing through. Look at this. And even into New Jersey, we're getting all the way up into 70 degrees. That is wild. And on the European, dude, this is crazy stuff. 70 to 75 degrees in December. That is screaming to me. Literally. Look at these temperature anomalies. Holy crap. And that is going to slash in a powerful cold front behind. What this is telling me is that we are going to have a major storm. Whether that's severe weather or damaging winds, I don't know. Or even if it's snow. But what I can tell you is that it can go from 70 to 30 to 20 degrees just a couple hours later. And this right here, it's a little bit where it reminds me. April 1st, 2023. I've been talking about it all year. But this front, I mean, wow. 70 to 30 degrees in an instant. That is wild. So, yeah, there's definitely gonna be some very crazy weather to look out for. Now, going into long range, it's not gonna get any better. We're gonna have more major storms, more snow, more severe weather, more damaging winds. It's gonna be a relentless track of weather. And that is gonna be exciting because I'm actually pretty excited. Because it's been awfully quiet here. It's been awfully quiet. That's gonna definitely change throughout December and January. It is gonna get a whole lot crazier. So, either way, if we don't look at thunderstorms for early December, I will be emphasizing the damaging winds that may come with this system. Anyways, guys, that is your video for today. Please keep an eye out on this. This could be a major monster. Major monster. We don't know yet. Actually, we do kind of know. Because this front is just ridiculous. The temperature anomalies ahead and behind, ridiculous. So be prepared that this could be a really crazy storm. Be prepared in the south for a tornado outbreak. I will say this has a lot of potential. And if those sheer ingredients and that cape aligns correctly, we could be talking about a tornado outbreak. Now, for New Jersey, I would expect damaging winds 100%. But could there be a chance of severe weather early December? I can't say no. Because, I mean, this front is just incredibly impressive. Alright, guys. Well, I'm so glad to be back on talking about active weather. And I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you for all the subs. I am just truly shocked. I love you guys. And I'll see you guys later. And as always, stay safe out there.